first, I have a few images. We're going to work as a big group, so if everyone can kind of come down to this end. I'm going to show you some images, and we're going to look through these tips, and I want you guys to try and decide what tip would go with which drawing. So you can kind of work together and pull out the tips and kind of try and match them. One of the tips is missing, but so if you can't figure out which tip is missing, then just leave it.
So this one is like this one maybe, or this one? I feel like this one.
Yeah, talk together, guys.
No?
Yeah.
And what is the squiggly one? This? No, I think they actually did each piece.
So like 20.
Yeah.
Did you say? This one's pretty small.
Yeah.
But I don't
Well,
know.
it's
Any
music,
thoughts?
I don't know what
This
size
one
it is.
is
It's one of the
I don't
ones.
think.
I think you should go a bit bigger.
Not
but
I
I think
think
it
You better
looks
have
small.
This one-
Are these
this
all
one's
yours?
also-
This is
and
What's up, how you guys?
it has,
I'm sure it's
something.
So you make cakes
Oh,
then,
yeah,
like
it's
you
good
made
on
cakes for
outside.
your husband?
I have, but
Are those
I
like
like
ridges?
size.
Like
fondue.
fondue?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
rolling out.
Oh, yeah, and then
I'm
you cut
gonna
it
do
and
that
stuff.
one, yeah.
It's definitely an art, like
This
the
one's
fondue
pretty
type
fun.
food.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or it's not there.
Give it this one.
Okay, how are we doing here?
So you can be super precise.
Okay,
Or any-
David, any help down here for these
Sure.
guys? What do we think? Do you think they have it pretty good?
Either one of these.
Yeah, looks pretty good. We did good.
Okay, so
Go
let's talk
team.
about this one. So this one's right, so just a small little round piping tip to do the details. This is called a basket weave, right? And this would be the perfect tip for that. The little flowers would be this guy here, and I think they used a little bit of like a candy, so but you could pipe those dots. That was good. This is the one tip we don't have, and I'll show
Oh,
you.
you're so tricky. We thought we would just do like a whole bunch of
Yeah,
this.
It's
This could take a
actually
long
like
time.
this. You can see it just has the little
Oh.
dots in it,
See,
and that's
what
how
I
to do the
thought.
grass. So I don't have one of those. This is right exactly just to pipe. Either you can do dots or you can do the swirl like that. This one actually is wrong. That one is going to be more like this. So you can actually make that design
Really?
from this.
Wow,
just in a
you
swirl.
tricked us.
Tricky. Okay, and for the shells, it'd actually be the same for either. What would be the difference between the two though? Like if you're seeing.
Difference between what?
Sorry, the tips. So it'd be the same type of tip, they would be a little bit different though.
This one's tighter.
Yeah, that's right. So a tighter one would be one of the, maybe a tinier one, or yeah, with lots of little edges to it, but it would be one of these types of tips. This one would be like even more floral, so that one wouldn't work. This is actually not the leaf tip, but I do see a leaf tip in there. Any idea? Nope. Nope.
Oh, squiggle?
You said no?
No. David knows. I know he does.
No, I don't.
Anybody?
This one?
No. Now, see, if we take a look, there's that indent in the middle, right? Yes, perfect. Dan's got it. That's actually going to be your leaf tip. There's a couple different varieties, but that will be your leaf because it gives that hole in the middle will give the insert. Okay?
Nice.
But otherwise, really good job, guys.
That's tricky.
Okay, so now I want everybody to grab a partner. We're going to do 4 groups of 2.
Sure, high partner.
Okay, so one group on this edge.
Interesting.
One group here, and one group kind of beside me. Yeah, space. You guys can go on this side, actually.
Is this,
Okay.
would this be a full set of?
Pretty much, yeah. So we're making buttercream icing today. You're gonna work with your partner to make it. So buttercream icing is definitely a really popular icing when it comes to decorating. It's a stiffer icing, so it holds up well. If you take a look at the ingredients, we have shortening in it. You can make it with just butter, but the benefits of using shortening is it won't melt at a higher temperature. So if it's for, let's say, a wedding cake, it's an outside wedding, it's sitting in the hot sun, it's gonna stabilize it and hold it longer.
Sorry, I have a question. So
Mhm.
can you use this like to stick pieces together, like cake together? Or is it
Yeah,
just for
absolutely.
decorating?
Yeah, for decorating,
that
for
how you-
filling, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've got our shortening, our butter or margarine. We're gonna use margarine today, vanilla, and our icing sugar right here. We're not gonna sift it though, because we're just practicing today. And then instead of milk, we have cream, okay? But it'll be the same measurement. Okay, if we look at step 1, guys, in a large bowl, it says cream, shortening, and butter. Okay, cream is one of those words we've worked on before. Does anyone know what it means or remembers what it means? What it means when I say cream? Yes.
So the butter, what are we using? Shortening.
Shortening, yeah, and
To cream it
butter.
together means to put them out together.
Yeah, so we're gonna beat it, right? So we're gonna use those electric mixers. We have 2, so you guys just have to take turns using it, and then our plugins are just above us. Okay, so we're gonna do the sugar 1 cup at a time. That's a really important thing, so we don't get the puff of sugar going all over. Okay, and milk is the last thing that we add. So we wanna make sure we get that right consistency. I'll help you guys with that. So we don't want it too runny, we want it stiff enough, but not too stiff, so we can pipe it nicely. So we'll work on that together. So, all the ingredients are right here. If you have any questions, let me know. Actually, I'll go over the piping bags.
So you said like to sift the.
We're not gonna sift.
No, I know, but like, would you sift like to get the lumps out? Like if you were really doing a cake, because you said
Yeah,
we're not
normally,
sifting.
yeah, so
because-
tomorrow and the next day we're gonna sift, because we're actually going to be piping full cakes.
Oh, okay.
But just for time saver today, so we can get lots of practice, we're not gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay, and then in a group, in your group, you can pick any piping tip that you want to practice today. Just pick one. There's also food coloring. You can pick whichever food coloring you want. When you've got our piping bags and you guys pick your tip, let's say this is your tip. I'm just going to go over this for the tip. You're going to actually drop it in just to get a good idea of where to cut it. Because you don't want to cut the hole too big, right? So kind of take a look, and we're gonna go about halfway. So I'll pull the tip up just slightly. I'm gonna take my scissors and I'll cut, push it down, and then you've got your piping bag. Okay? Now, when we're putting in our icing, here's your trick. So we grab the tip, we're gonna give it a twist so we don't get the icing all the way to the bottom. Okay? We're gonna make a cup with our non-dominant hand. Everyone, yes? Okay? Beautiful. And we're gonna take the icing bag and open it up. And this is our cup, right? So we're gonna fill it with icing, okay? We're gonna close up the bag. We're gonna twist the bag. Our dominant hand's gonna hold it at the very top, right next to the tip. This is what squeezes, this is our pressure. Your other hand, your non-dominant hand, is going to position. So you're going to, if you're going in a straight line or you're making writing, right? So dominant hand is at the top, non-dominant hand at the bottom. Got it?
So why do
Okay.
you have to cup with your non-dominant hand? Because you don't want to be so squeezing it?
Sorry.
No. When you had said when you put the cup on your non-dominant hand.
Yeah, it's just because this is easier to
You're
squeeze
using
in.
dominant hand to scoop icing
Yeah.
into it, silly.
Okay, so you guys can start
Yeah.
making the icing, and then we'll talk about decorating once we get to that step, okay?
I'm just going to roll it to you guys, so I know a single thing that you just taught us, so.
Well, that's good. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, do you want to get some butter?
These are in
Grab the icing.
I'm just asking questions because I'm curious. 'Cause I'm not a baker,
Absolutely.
so.
Big metal.
Did you grab the color? Go grab it.
green. Dump this in.
Feel free to just cut the shortening if you want.
Shortening and butter, okay, yeah, if you like.
Sorry, it'll be this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Joshi's got it, yes. That's our fake.
For making your own shortening,
You want it?
do you have a knife or
cut.
just scoop
We
it?
had butter
Here, I'll let you
right
do
there.
Okay.
And you can measure it. and then you just scoop it.
You're welcome.
Oh, there you go.
When you're done with this,
Okay,
can we
so
have
this
some?
needs to start
No.
connecting together.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for that.
Sorry, half a cup.
Okay, and here's your pen.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Do you see that?
If you're, what do you guys do?
Oh, that's one cup, so you have to.
Yes.
You start looking at which tip you want.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
I've never used that.
Really? Shortening and butter same here?
Did you really?
Yeah, it's just kind of, yeah.
It's dicey.
Okay, we'll just.
Half worst idea ever is multi-use.